All right, welcome back to Waste Some Time with Jason Green. I am Jason Green. I feel like it's been a while since I've said that. Anyway, it's 2023. Can you believe it? I'm a little shocked myself that there's still a world. But here we are. I'm a little different angle today, so let me just see what I think of this. My house right now, it'll have to do. My house right now looks like Christmas exploded. There's gift wrapping and gifts, and of course the Christmas tree is still very well strong and going. And it's just so. I thought some of you might be ready to start a new year fresh and don't want to live Christmas like I do all year round. And so that's why today behind me you see the wall of rock and roll Funko Pops. You can't really see it because I have this very creative filter. Anyway, we've got so much to talk about since we've last been here. I'm going to get to your questions, your comments. I'd like to know how you spent your New Year's. I really don't, but that's the thing you say when you do these shows, you know, to make people feel warm and welcome. And of course, Johnny Monaco should be joining us. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, Johnny Monaco will be here, and we'll talk about his exciting holidays and plans for the New Year's, resolutions, you know, all of that kind of nonsense. Anyway, we're going to talk about all those things and more right after this. Just wanna waste some time with you. Sometimes it seems too good to be true. Nobody out there can waste time without you. All right, let's start by seeing who's here because really I only do this for you guys, and the rent is due. Okay, let's see who's here. John Gregory was the first one this morning. Hello, Jason and Johnny. I hope you guys are doing well. Let's hope that 2023 will be a great rockers year. See you guys soon. Signed, John Zepp Bass Gregory from Munster, Indiana. I think it says Munster, Indiana. Anyway, thank you. John here. Skylar. Skylar says, ready to waste some time in the new year. Look what the cat dragged in is here. Let's see. Jay Stevens is here. I'll be in Las Vegas weekend. Come by, Jason. Johnny has the party info. Johnny has not shared any party info with me of any sorts. He knows that I normally do not go to anything. So maybe that's why he's keeping it from me. But who knows? Let's see. And then Mark is here. Welcome, Mark. Greetings. And Headspace. Georgia, wishing everyone a happy new year. Hey, here's Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez, for those of you who are longtime viewers of the show, Mark Sanchez is the gentleman who paid for Johnny's beef and broccoli. And I don't know if you guys follow Johnny Monaco on social media, but he had a PF Chang's blowout. He had an issue with PF Chang's. Mark, if you're thinking about dinner tonight, I think Johnny is not allowed in PF Chang's, but we will talk to him. And Mark, it was a pleasure to meet you. Johnny, when he gets here, and I will talk about meeting you at the world famous Rainbow Bar and Grill. Headspace is here. Nick is here. Johnny Holstein is here. And Brian. Look at all these great people. Chewy is saying, tell Steven to come to North Florida. Well, that could happen. There's a lot of shows that we haven't announced yet. And Ron and Rob. I feel like the it's that broad on TV called, you know, that horror Romper Room, you know, where she sees the people through her horror detector. Gunner's here, which is a lot like when I talk about horrors, it reminds me a lot of the Rainbow Bar and Grill. Anyway, Michelle is here. Michelle obviously is now a big star. Michelle signing autographs and meeting the adoring public ever since appearing on the show. Okay, John, nice to see you, John. Been a little while. So glad everyone's here. Mickey is here. She says Johnny's New Year goal is to bang more. Nice. Well, we'll see about that. And oh boy, I can't keep up with everybody. Is this boring, everyone? I just want to make sure that we show that we care about everyone. There's 100 people plus watching right now. Some people do shows, they don't get 100 viewers in a year. But anyway, but we already look at that. 1 minute into the new show, we have 100 people. We've been, it's been a tough day. We've been voting all day to decide if we should elect Johnny to be the speaker. We've had 10 votes so far, and we're having a hard time. But because Johnny is a man of the people, he is here right now. Johnny Monaco. Johnny, it's nice to see you.
Good to see you. How you doing?
I think I'm doing all right, and a lot has happened since we've last seen each other.
Yeah, I will say that.
Johnny, let's go backwards before we get to the current day, and of course, if anyone knows, there are restraining orders and APBs out for Johnny at Mattress Firm and now PF Chang's as well.
That place, man. I didn't do anything.
Well, we'll get to that. Allegedly, he did not do anything. So, Johnny, a lot of people have been watching the videos on the channel. We went out and we spread holiday cheer. That was our goal, at least my goal. I think I succeeded. You can go watch the videos. The first one, we went to the M Resorts for what was called a snow carnival. And it was a little ridiculous. The woman at the door pretty much summed it up, Johnny. What did she say?
Well, sir, it is mainly for children.
Mm-hmm. To which we said, that's fine.
Oh, you said that.
You're right. And we went, and it was kind of fun. I think if we got there earlier in the day, the snow would have been fresher. What do they call snow? Is there another term for snow when you? I can't think of it.
I mean, no, I think it's fabricated snow. It was kind of felt real when I was, playing with the kids.
In some ways, I mean, it wasn't brought to us by God or anything, but in some ways it was real snow. I mean, the machine crunched it up and blew it at us, and we had snow. But so anyway, that was sort of fun, and we rode the choo-choo train and all those things. And if you haven't seen that video, you can go watch it now. But a lot of people have been enjoying it. And then I wasn't satisfied that you had enough holiday spirit that we decided, well, first of all, we were invited to the Striper Christmas party, which was a very beautiful thing. We spoke about it briefly last week, but the Striper was celebrating the patriarch of the family, Michael Sweet and Robert Sweet's father, and they were having a Christmas party with him and their mother, Janice. But their father, and his name is escaping me right now, but he was ill. He was in the hospital and was not able to attend. So the Striper family Christmas went on, and we got to meet. And Johnny and I sat at the head table with the Sweets, and I had the sweet and low myself because of diabetes. But we had a very nice time, and they. I should have made this a clickbait headline. You know what I mean? I think we would have got a lot more people if I said, "What did Johnny Monaco do at the Striper Christmas party?" or something along those lines. But I don't need the gimmicks. So we had a great time, and you sang some Christmas karaoke with the family.
No.
They might have adopted you. You might be an honorary Sweet now.
I think they sense that they need to fix something, so they welcomed me into the tribe.
It's possible. Yeah, it could be. But really great food, great people. We had a nice time, and it was an intimate gathering of sorts, and it was really very nice. But after that, I decided we should go to this place called Enchant. I had gone to it the night before with Michelle at the ballpark here, with minor league baseball stadium. But they have another one at Resorts World, and it just happens that there's a gentleman in your building who is one of the big shots at this Enchant, and he got us in. Thank God, it saved me a few $1,000. And so at this point, everyone except myself had been drinking a little bit at the Striper party. You had a few martinis, is that correct?
Yeah, those 4 martinis crept up on me.
Yeah, and so we went down to Resorts World, which is a very nice new casino, but the parking structure was built approximately 3 miles from the hotel, and it's a bit of a walk. And it's a little chilly, and if you're drinking, that could be an issue as well. So we got to Enchant. The video is out right now. That one is going crazy. It's a viral sensation. I can't believe how many people are watching it. Mickey made an interesting comment, Johnny. I don't know if you saw it. She saw the picture, the thumbnail, if you will, of me, Michelle, and yourself with Santa Claus, and she said it looks like me and Michelle were parents taking our special kid to see Santa Claus. And it's, if you look at the picture, it's not a crazy description. You did have your powder blue suit that everybody loved. Santa loved it. You and Santa had a deep conversation. I forgot to record it, and we had to go through a second time and do it. He was happy to see us. I mean, it was 11:30 or probably midnight, and Santa's just hanging out. It wasn't like we were taking up space from children. They should have been home in bed. Instead, they were out drinking like you. Anyway, that video's out, and we had a great time, and we spoke about it. So after that, Johnny, the next time we saw each other was on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Every few years, people decide, I'm going to do something for Christmas. We all know that nothing's open. We know that it's difficult, yet we still come up with these dumb ideas. The best idea is to get some food and have it at home and have a little get together like that. That's probably the best. But we decided we wanted a little fun, family old-fashioned, whatever they say, that Christmas party. We went out trying to attempt to find places to eat. We went to the South Point, far from the Strip. We thought that would be okay. It's pretty close to your home. And it was at least a 3-hour wait for the buffet, hours for the restaurants. It was bad. And so then we tried the Silverton, but their buffet was closed. Actually, their hotel, the actual hotel where you stay, was closed. The casino was open. And we went to eat at a place, a cafe. I forget the name of it. I've been there a few times. I had a very holiday meal that came with some kind of eggnog, creme brulee, pudding, or something. It was all a bunch of bullshit, but I fell for it. I fall for anything if you holiday-esque. But anyway, we had that nice meal. That was on Christmas, which, as you know, falls on December 25th. And the next time we would see each other after that was going to the world famous Whiskey A Go Go. Right, Johnny? Is that,
Yep.
Do I have my events right?
Yeah, I think that was all of it. There was a house involved with lights and a ranch with bones.
Oh, yes. We spoke about that briefly. That was on Christmas. We were invited to go to a ranch where a bunch of musicians live. Some famous, not some famous, all kinds of people. You know, I think we spoke about briefly. Ed Roman, who was a legendary guitar builder, used to live there. He died there, and his ghost apparently is the innkeeper and runs the place. And his daughter tragically passed away. And according to Joaquin, who plays drums with Stephen Pearcy, sometimes he was in the Bullet Boys, she is known to blur through his bedroom. And the drywall and other things are not finished yet. It seems like the place is under development. But Johnny, before we went to dinner, did help himself to some food. What did you have, Johnny?
I don't know what that was. It was some form of carcass with ribs. I believe it was a rack of ribs.
How did they serve those ribs?
I had to reach into the oven and pull one apart.
The oven was on.
Yeah, the oven was on. Yeah. And had I known, I would have brought my elf glove. Yes,
of course. Well, they didn't tell us it was that kind of party. Joaquin also raved about his homemade paella. I love paella. I'm a big fan of paella. I did not have any, but he said that he was having trouble getting the octopus or the squid to squirt ink on it, to which I thought, I'm going to sit it out. I also don't know, speaking of sitting out, I'm not sure how long the paella had been there.
Yeah, but I don't know what that was.
But I like Joaquin, and I like those people, and it was nice of them to show us around the ranch. It was an odd place. People come and go. I couldn't live like that. Could you?
No. They actually asked us to move in.
They did. In fact, I think if we didn't escape, we may be still there. It was a little bit of
that one room was I would say basically a room where you fill snuff films. Yeah,
I've been to Zach Bagans' haunted house here. It had nothing on this ranch. This room, someone decided to build a room with a door that's this thick and soundproofed, and then there was a bed. It looked like
windows. Yeah.
No windows. No, and it was interesting, and that is kind of how we spent Christmas. By the way, there's 150 people watching. A lot of questions. We will get to them. We've got time. We're going to talk to everybody, whatever you guys want to talk about. But I just want to catch everyone up on the events because people like to hear us chatter. They enjoy a little chatter, and people like to hear stories about Hollywood and the whiskey and the rock and roll scene. And we're going to do our best to tell you about that and some of the interesting people that we came across. So anyway, that was Christmas on the 25th. Now, the problem was for most people, the whiskey is a local gig. Scott Coogan lives in California. Eric lives in California. Robbie Crane lives in California. Stephen did live there. He lives obviously in Vegas. But so he went up a day early and he drove up with his lovely bride, Christy. It's her birthday. Happy birthday, Christy, if you're watching. It's also Robbie Crane's birthday, by the way. Happy birthday to both of them. And so they went up a day early. And so normally, Johnny, we would have went together, but I was planning to stay in Los Angeles for a rocking New Year's Eve. And we went back and forth with different ideas. I went out with Michelle to Los Angeles. You took your own car. You took the Monaco Mobile, and beat the weather and beat the traffic because they did. When I was on the road, we had to take a detour through Pear Blossom, and that was a TV show with Mayim Bialik in the late '80s. My grandmother tried to set me up with the actors from Blossom. Johnny, do you know that story?
No, no.
Yeah, it might be for another show, but my grandparents lived in Florida, as a lot of older retired people do, and Mayim Bialik Blossom, who was also on a show called The Big Bang Theory, I think that's what it's called. Yeah. She also lived. Her grandparents were there, and she was just in a movie called Beaches with Bette Midler. Blossom really hadn't been a big thing yet, and my grandparents thought, grandparents think you just set everyone up with everyone. As long as you're in the tribe, so to speak, you should date each other. And needless to say, it did not work out. Anyway, Pear Blossom was also this detour we took, and they closed Victorville, and there was flooding and all kinds of things. California is experiencing very unusual mudslide monsoon weather. It is raining there right now, and we were lucky or unlucky to have made it. So I got there a little bit late. When I got to the parking lot, sound check was over. Johnny, you were the last person that I saw. You said that it was a fantastic sound check as always. Everybody was singing Kumbaya and excited to see each other for the holidays. Is that right?
Exactly like that.
Mm-hmm. So the idea that Stephen had was to get some special guests to come on stage. And I will tell you that I talked to some people who were involved in Rat at different times, very famous people. He also contacted or spoke with some. Was not able to all happen that night, but there are interesting things ahead. I can't say much about, but you never know what's going to happen. I will say that we'll be back in California for 3 nights in March, and I would get tickets. Come out. You never know who you're going to see. But a few people did jam. So Scott Coogan has moved to, he lives in Ontario, not Canada. So he didn't have anywhere to stay. So he made himself at home in the dressing room. The whiskey dressing room is very nice. They have the finest selection of video cassette and video cassette recorder to watch them. And things were a little bit of disarray. I went to the hotel, which was the Ramada, formerly the Tropicana, and there was some issues with hotels.com and other things, and things were a little bit out of whack, to say the least. And so we ended up going back to the whiskey, and we went to have a pre-show meal at the Rainbow. It seems like that's the thing you do if you're going to be in LA. Might as well go to the Rainbow. It was not jam-packed. We got a nice table out front. When we entered the Rainbow, there was a strange-looking man straight at the first booth as you go up the stairs. It's the one booth that has a pillar in it. Ron Jeremy used to sit in that booth all the time because it was closest to the stairs. He liked to talk to people. Anyway, you saw this kind of disheveled man with glasses, similar to yours and mine, and you said, that's going to be me in a few years. This nut sitting there at the Rainbow. Who was that, man?
Well, no, I said, that looks like Andy Dick.
Mhm.
And someone goes, it is Andy Dick.
Mhm.
And that's who it was.
It was the great Andy Dick. Now, someone had purchased you an Andy Dick cameo years back.
Years back, yeah. My friend Mary, she bought one for me.
Mhm.
I still have it on my phone. I had to pull it up after after that whole thing happened.
It's very funny. He seemed to know you based on his descriptions of you in the video.
I don't know about that. It was very strange. I wish I could play it right now, but I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we can figure that out.
I'll save it for my cameo.
Yeah, people would love that.
Hello, Johnny Monaco. Kept doing it. Twinkie, just so strange. It's really, it's funny.
It's funny. Johnny will share that somewhere so that you guys can watch it. I see all of your questions, and we'll get to them soon. So anyway, we ate outside on the patio, and I had the minestrone soup. You guys had they had the chicken soup. You had clam chowder, right? How was it?
I don't know. Not great. I thought it used to be better. I think it's kind of gone downhill.
I feel the same. The pizza also, while it wasn't terrible, it didn't have the.
No, it wasn't great.
The magic.
They probably got the same manager at PF Chang's.
It's possible. It's definitely possible. So, but we had rainbow pizza and some soup because that is what you're supposed to do. After that, we went over to the whiskey. I will say, and I'll let Johnny talk more. I'm just kind of getting through the brush strokes, if you will. But I will say that I hate playing the whiskey. Not actually playing there or playing on stage. It's an honor. It's an incredible honor. It's a great room in history. But the event leading up to it is a big pain in the ass. I love Jake. What's that again?
You forgot to mention our friend Mark.
Oh, Mark, of course. How could I forget Mark? That's when it happened. Yeah, thank you, Johnny. Mark Sanchez was at the Rainbow as well, and we finally got a chance to get together. He gave me a really cool book, and it was great. And we had a really nice chat. He had a cool idea. He brought a frame, like a mat board frame, and he had us sign the frame, and then he took a picture, and then he could put the picture in the frame. It's a pretty clever idea. In all my years of collecting memorabilia and things, I had never really thought of that. And so anyway, right now, Mark has a very cool souvenir. And Mark is such a generous guy. I thank him for the support. He always helps support this channel. He helps support Johnny's Beef and Broccoli. We were trying to have him find us before we left the Rainbow. Maybe he'd pick up the bill, but no such luck. Just kidding. Anyway, it was great to see Mark. And so many people from this channel. Some people's names I didn't get, and sometimes I have poor memory. But boy, it was great to see old faces. That part of playing the whiskey I enjoy. I like seeing old friends. Not all of them, but some. But what happens when you play California, and Johnny knows this, he's been a musician, he's lived in California, he is a musician, is everyone wants to be on the guest list, and everyone says they're going to come, and then you have a guest list with 100 names, and you're lucky if 40 really show up, and then everyone wants to go backstage because they think there's some kind of exciting party that happens backstage, and then they try to create something, and I would much rather work shows in Podunk or wherever, because you don't have that problem. If you watch my tour diary, you see what a normal day at the office is like for us. You will see this whiskey show. It is a little crazy. Also, the whiskey, and again, I was saying I love Jake. He's the guy there. He's the brother, and he's a friend to all of us. He's been on the show. He's a great guest. And but the whiskey is not like, there were 7 opening bands. That's a lot of bands, 7. And look, they got to make their money somehow, but there's not much of a spread backstage, just being except maybe some of the whores that come and go. But it's an interesting experience being there. Stephen wanted coffee. He likes to drink a lot of coffee. I had to run across the street to the gas station. That's a famous gas station across from the whiskey. It's been there forever, and I bought him his coffee back and forth because it's hard to find a coffee maker apparently at the world famous Whiskey A Go Go. Anyway, so showtime comes around. Johnny, were you having a nice? There was nowhere for you to get dressed. There were so many people coming and going. Scott Coogan had no problem. He got naked. He didn't care. He was bare ass in the room, but in front of who God knows who. But how about you? Where did you have to get dressed?
I couldn't move around. There was too many people in there. I just took my stuff and where'd I go? I think Jake opened another door in the hallway and let me go down the hallway, and there's another room in there. Oh, in the office. I got dressed in the office.
Jake has access to all kinds of secret rooms and secret passages at the Whiskey. The movie Up in Smoke with Cheech and Chong was filmed at the Roxy. But the dressing rooms at the Roxy were not big enough for the scenes for the Battle of the Bands. So they filmed them at the dressing rooms at the Rainbow. Same with the movie Rock and Roll High School. The Ramones filmed their performance at the Roxy. But the scene where they say, Dee Dee Ramone says, "Hey, pizza, great, let's dig in." And they tell Joey Ramone he can't have pizza, he has to have wheat germ. That was also filmed in one of the offices at the Rainbow. And Jake was nice enough to take me on a tour and show me all those rooms, which I did film. It will come out on a future tour diary, but also come out on a future episode where I show locations from Rock and Roll High School. So that stuff was fun, but it is kind of on the go. I will say the bands ended on time. In fact, maybe a little early. We had time to get the stage set. And if you've never been to the Whiskey, you can watch one of my tour diaries about it. But a lot of stairs. There's a lot of up and down and a lot of stairs to get through. So the idea was that there was going to be this jam performance. I should point out that Jerry Gittleson of Metal Sludge, you know Metal Sludge. He has an article that he wrote yesterday. He described some of it, but I'm going to give you more of what happened. So the idea was people were going to jam. We had the triumphant return of Chris Hager. And this is your first time meeting Chris, I think.
Yeah, he was nice. I liked him.
He's a very nice guy. Chris fell ill. Johnny came in, and obviously Johnny stayed. Chris had no hard feelings and is a very nice guy. He got up and he played "I'm Insane," and it was fun to have him back on stage. And like I said, he's a nice guy and in good spirits. Then Ira Black, who currently plays with the Bullet Boys, he was going to get on stage with Mark Torian, who addresses us both and probably everyone as Honey. He would kiss the cheek and then call you honey. And they got on stage and played "You Think You're Tough," which was really cool because for you Rat fans, Mark Torian played "You Think You're Tough" when he was in Rat. He wasn't in it for long, but he was in Rat, predating a lot of those other guys. Chris Hager and Mark Torian are really parts of Rat history. Steven gets caught up in the show and he doesn't necessarily explain who each person is. People know Mark Torian from the Bullet Boys, and Chris Hager was a rough cut. He's also on Hear and Aid, We're Stars, and other things. But so anyway, it was a lot of Rat history, or Mickey Rat history, because Chris goes back to 1978 with the brand, and Mark similar as well. So those guys jammed. Then Sean McNabb came on stage, and he played bass on Body Talk. Sean McNabb was in Great White, and he was in Lynch Mob. A lot of people don't realize he was in Quiet Riot. He is on the QR album with Paul Shortino, Carlos Cavazzo, and Frankie Banali. So Stay With Me Tonight. That was the single from that record. So anyway, it was fun to see people on stage. And I think Steven played a very good set. 15 songs, a lot of stuff. I Want a Woman was played for the first time since he's played it in Rat. And I mean Warren Rat going back, not some of these, not Ziff Rat, as the kids call it. Anyway, so it was an interesting experience. But Johnny, we were worried about the weather the next day because of the torrential downpour, and you chose to leave right after the show. I'm a fan of that, but I've only done it as a passenger, not as a driver. So you made the trek. You got home in good time.
Yeah, I mean, looking back, I probably shouldn't. It was too tough. Like the last 150 miles were really hard, but I mean, yeah. I thought it was gonna be crazy the next day. And then I looked on the thing and I didn't really see that it was, but
it did not look that crazy. I mean, the weather was worse It looked like there might have been some stoppages, but it didn't look insane. The
Yeah.
other reason that we were so scared is driving to California when you saw the traffic coming to Las Vegas.
Right.
It was a parking lot for
Yeah.
miles, and so
That's what. Yeah.
that is what scared us. A lot of conversation going on, uh, and I'm glad you're all talking amongst yourselves. There are 200 people watching right now, so we'll get to what Johnny and I talk amongst ourselves, and then we'll talk to you guys. I've yet to see a super chat in the new year. That's interesting, because I know my rent is due, and not one super chat. How crazy is that? Anyway, so Johnny went back. I stayed in Los Angeles. Johnny arrived home on New Year's Eve. Johnny, what did you do when you got home?
It was 5:30 in the morning. I just went to bed, and I woke up and got a call, and I went and I got a gig. So I just went and played New Year's Eve, and then the following New Year's Day at Harris.
Yeah,
So,
Harris Carnival Court. You are the hardest working man in showbiz. When people need you, you are ready at the drop of a hat, and you were there, and you played, which is good because Johnny, I know you would be happier playing and earning income than sitting at home watching balls drop.
yeah. Well, I wasn't expecting to have a gig, but last minute someone got sick, so I went and did it. It was crazy. The hardest part was just driving over there.
Right.
Nightmare driving on the strip or anywhere over there.
It takes a special type of person, Johnny, to be able to take those gigs in 1 second. Oh, hold on, Johnny. Chris Topolinsky is here. First super chat of 2023. Thank you so much for Bitsy's Kibble Fund. I had to feed Bitsy right before the show, so she would leave us alone. But anyway, thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate that. Now that you guys see how it's done, feel free to follow suit for this incredible entertainment that we bring you. So anyway, Johnny, not everyone can do it. You go up there, you're playing 3-4 hours of music. You're playing request songs at the drop of a hat, a drop of a dime, if you will. And yet you do it. So it's a good thing if your kids at home are watching, practice your instrument, learn your mixolydian scales, and maybe you too could play Carnival Court on New Year's Eve. That's holiday money too. Johnny earned holiday money.
That's right.
So I went to Universal Studios Hollywood because I have a pass and it was free for pass holders. And Michelle and I went, and it was possibly the dumbest thing I've ever done on New Year's Eve. Although I did go watch the balls drop in New York in Times Square when I was younger, and that was pretty stupid too. Vegas is the big party for New Year's. There's 8 hotels that have fireworks. That's the party. If you like to be out among people. The good thing is though, I used to go to the Thomas and Mack parking lot, see the entire fireworks show, and then go home and see no people. So that's a good thing. New York does not have that. They just have balls dropping. But in Los Angeles, oh, hold on. Here's a Billy this is a very generous tip. It says SEK. I don't know what that means, but it says $50. Most countries, other money does good. Well, I am very appreciative, Billy. Thank you so much. So, yes, Billy, I appreciate it. He loves the show. Well, thank you. It's very nice of you. Harry Potter World was having fireworks. The Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Michelle and I went early in the day. And well, first I went to the Doors workshop. It's right across the street from the hotel, where they recorded the record "L.A. Woman," and it's open now because it is a hot dog experiment restaurant. And I got to stand on the stairs where that famous picture of the Doors was taken, and that was kind of fun. I don't remember what Michelle and I had for lunch. If she's here, she could tell us. Maybe we went somewhere interesting. I don't know. We probably ate at the Universal Studios Hollywood. So we went there. It was raining a little here, a little there. We met the Grinch. The Grinch was there. They were still celebrating Grinchmas, but it was a bit rainy. But we decided we should go back to her place and take a nap. And so that's what we did. We set the clock. We went back. We caught the Grinchmas tree lighting ceremony and Harry Potter and all these things. It was bad. It was rainy. Our feet were soaked. Socks were soaked. Clothes were soaked. This jacket is just finally thawed out. It weighed 400 pounds of solid rain. we went on this ride called the Mummy, the Curse of the Mummy. At the end, I like these rides, but I had on my hoodie and my jacket and and it was all covered in rain, and there was people on the left of me, Michelle on the right, and the ride got stuck at the end. At the very end, it was pitch black, and we're stuck, and I started to have a panic attack. I haven't had a panic attack like this in years, but if you watch Instagram, you always see idiots getting stuck on rides, and you always think, well, that wouldn't be me. Well, it was me. And I really, I had to sort of close my eyes and pretend I was somewhere else. But because they have this lap bar on you, you can't get out. I was trying to figure out, could I squeeze through this damn thing? And at that point, I realized. And listen, it felt like we were trapped for hours. It was probably 4 minutes. But anyway, it was ridiculous. We then went back to the car to dry out. We hung our clothes up in the car, and so did everyone else. The parking lot was crazy with people trying to warm up before the New Year celebration. There'll be a video of this. And for those of you who watch my Instagram, you might have seen my live weather reports. It was ridiculous. Johnny, I'm learning that people from other countries, and maybe some from this country, do not believe in deodorant. Even in tight spaces, the smell of BO was just absolutely horrendous. And just the crowds were nuts. Hold on. And I think Billy's whatever he donated is generous. Whatever anyone donates, and no one has to really give anything. It's nice though, but everything is appreciated. So we had that was New Year's Eve, and I came back on an airline called Southwest. And my flight was not canceled. It was delayed about 45 minutes. And I came home. It's a miracle I don't have any kind of sickness, virus, infection, STD, UTI, MTV, BBC, BBW, any of those things I do not have, at least not right presently. So anyway, we had that was our rocking New Year's Eve for Johnny and I. The new year is here. Can you believe it's 5 days in already, Johnny?
No. I don't.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the eviction notice on my door or pay or quit or whatever they call it, I wouldn't have no idea where we are or what day it is. But looking forward to getting back on the road. And there are new Stephen Pearcy shows just added. Now, they're not official yet. They are, but we can't tell you. But if you go to officialstephenpearcy.com, you can see some. You can go to johnnymonaco.com. We don't mention johnnymonaco.com enough. I was thinking about it earlier. If you go to Johnny's website, you can see where he's playing, and you can also purchase music and other collectibles. Johnny has a cool thing on his site. He has a list of all the shows he's played, starting with his high school talent show, all the way up to New Year's Eve. You can see all the shows Johnny's played with Enough's Enough, with LA Guns, Stephen Pearcy, and all of his solo work. So make sure you go see johnnymonaco.com and show some support. Let's see here. I'm trying to get to people's comments, but so anyway, yeah, it's the fifth. New shows coming up. We will be going to Key West, Florida. Johnny, are you excited?
Sure. I don't know. Seems kind of far.
It's a festival, if you will. 5 days. We'll be there for 2 of those 5 days. It's a long trip, as you mentioned. The day that we're going to arrive, we'll be able to watch some of the other bands, I think. But that'll be Black and Blue, Striper, Extreme, and Styx. That's the Friday night lineup.
I like Styx.
Yeah, I like all those bands to an extent. I don't know about Black and Blue anymore. It's been a while. And then, of course, I like Striper. But maybe they'll have a little karaoke for you afterwards. Or martini.
It's 75 degrees there.
That sounds nice. What is it here? 45?
It's Key West, so it never gets really cold, right?
It rains though.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be raining the whole time.
Yeah, Florida, on and off rain constantly.
Is it outside?
I think so.
Oh, it is.
I don't really know much about it, but I think so. They probably have a thing over the top.
Yeah, but still.
And then the next day, the first band is Autograph. I don't know if Autograph is going to be able to play. There's a lot of controversy and lawsuits amongst fake Autograph and real Autograph. You can decide who's who. There's a lot of trouble. Poor Randy Rand's widow has been dragged into this now, and oh my goodness, it's crazy. And there's a lot of lawsuits, so maybe they'll be there. Who knows? Then Stephen Piercy, of course. And then the most energetic, exciting band that I can think of, Queensryche. Sorry, I was nodding off. They're playing, and then after them, the headliner that evening is who, Johnny?
Is it Stephen Piercy?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
It must have not been very exciting.
Is it, let's see, Florida, Kid Rock?
No, that's a good guess.
All right. Is it Slaughter?
Anyone in the comments know who the hell's playing that night?
Florida. Is it Marilyn Manson?
No.
The Offspring?
Somebody thinks maybe it's a new band called Blotzers, LA Guns N' Roses.
I don't think Offspring is from Florida, but they sure dress like it.
Yes. Happy New Year, Chris. Thank you for watching.
I don't know.
Someone said Pretty Boy Floyd. It is not. Pretty Boy Floyd is playing at this private opening party on Tuesday night. It's Pretty Boy Floyd, something called Enough's Enough, and something else of that level. Can't remember that one either. We should look this up. Hold on. I think that we owe it to the audience to, when you watch some shows, you get you don't get the thoroughness that we give you. This is we think this out. I've been planning this show for months now. Okay, here it is. I have the full schedule at my disposal.
Okay.
I feel like we've talked about this on the show before, but who cares? There's always somebody new. And then we're going to get to your questions and your comments. And whatever else you want to know. 200 people just hanging tight. Oh, somebody got it. The answer is correct. Let's give credit to the person who got it. I like this band. I don't think Johnny does. And the answer is Tesla.
Oh, that sounds.
You like Tesla?
I mean, I don't dislike them. I don't know. That's a little pedestrian for me, but I mean, I don't like the car.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the car, but I like I like Tesla. I like the old stuff. I liked when Tommy Scio was in the band. Obviously, he's a friend of the show, so they're down a few original members as well. But we're just going through this lineup since you guys are so interested. Tuesday night party, Pretty Boy Floyd. What's that, Johnny?
No, I was saying Tuesday.
Oh yeah. Pretty Boy Floyd, Jet Boy, and Enough's Enough. I feel like that's like tomorrow they get started. That is the kickoff party.
Okay.
I'm sure some people will pass. Wednesday, Helix, Honeymoon Suite, Steven Adler, and Loverboy.
I like Loverboy.
I like that they're adding some of these bands like Loverboy and Styx and 38 Special, maybe branch out because we've had so many of the quote unquote hair bands. So, okay. Nothing there that I need to see though. And then Thursday, Wigwam, which I don't know what that is. I know Wigwam Bam, but then Quiet Riot, 38 Special, and Vince Neil. So, okay, that's Thursday.
Yeah.
Solid, yeah. And then Friday, we express Black and Blue Striper Extreme Sticks. Saturday, possibly an Autograph, Stephen Piercy, Queensryche, and Tesla. This is the Rock Island Fest. By the way, get your tickets. Looks like it's a fun event. 5 days in Key West. They've got these packages that they'll upload on you or drop on you.
That's exhausting.
Yeah, I think. But some people, Johnny, some people are not like us. Some people live for this kind of fun. And they have all the hotels in Key West blocked out. And so you can stay in a hotel, a nice one, and go on the beach. And, you can meet people of other similar backgrounds. I'm sure there's a lot of hooking up, a lot of people making marriage plans, that kind of thing. A lot of, as you know, Johnny, when we come to town, the ladies just line up at the dressing room door. It's a big orgy. The party is out of control. Key West, I can imagine, would be just as wild as Podunk that I mentioned earlier. Anyway, let's see. Chris is with you, Johnny. He says it all sounds exhausting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it just seems, it's just a long back and forth. But I'm sure once we get going, it'll be good. Have a pina colada. Someone was making fun of me drinking in here.
Yeah, well, no, I think it's nice to have an occasional fruity drink.
I don't drink all the time. But if we go through all these comments, everyone's chiming in and being fun, right? Mm-hmm. But there's always one. I always have to focus on the one negative.
All right, where is it?
Should I point it out, or should we skip over it? Usually, you just skip over that stuff.
I haven't seen anything. It's the person. Oh, Michelle knew there was Tesla. Thank you, Michelle.
You're not supposed to draw attention to it. Like, you just don't draw attention.
Who are they insulting? Me or you?
Me.
Oh, okay, then let's talk about it.
They made a fake page name.
Okay. Well, we don't have to get into it. I mean, I'm trying to find it. How far up is it?
Well, there's 2 comments from this person. And I think they're trying to get me in trouble. It's obviously someone who doesn't like me. And but if you don't like me, I probably did something to make them upset. And if I did something, it was probably because you deserved it, or you said something and I called you out on it. So the only reason I really get into arguments with people is because of that. That's why they don't like me. That, and maybe I don't spread enough positivity and tell people to drink more water and to be kind and to hug people more, because I'm not a guru. Like them. They're better. They're just better people than me. Until you pry into their past, then horrible people. But I see this person, and he made a fake page name, which right there, if you're gonna say something, just use your regular name, and tell me the problem, and we could talk about it, or we could I don't know if I would do it for charity, but we could do a boxing thing, where we fight.
Me, Bobby Blotzer, and then you and this person on the same bill would be huge.
So how much of the drive back was Johnny drunk for? Hilarious. I didn't even have a drink the whole night because I was trying to stay up so that I could drive back. I don't know if it would be hard to. Plus, you got to be on your toes when you're driving through that mountain. You're up in the clouds. Monty Jonico. Hilarious.
That's the person's name?
So clever. So clever.
Oh, here he is. Here's Monty Jonico.
And then he posted something prior to this.
It's actually Money Jonico, I believe.
Well, when Chips Enough used to call me Monty. So I think it might be someone from that, but you're right. Maybe it's someone saying that. There was another one in here though, and I don't see it anymore. Why is that?
Maybe they retracted?
No, I don't think I can go back that far for some reason. But he basically was saying that I drink and go around and tell people that Stephen Piercy has lost his voice.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't. Why would I do that? Why would I go around drunk? Do I show up to? Hold on a minute. He's not here again. Anyways, let me plug my guitar in. I mean, sounds funny, but I think it's somebody who's trying to get me in trouble and say things that I may or may not have said or taken out of context.
Well, Money, if you're watching, and that is your real name, in fact, you can address this. Why are you so interested in Johnny Monaco? I mean, we're all interested.
Just come over here. Everyone knows. I've had gifts sent to my house. They know where I'm at. I will get the what do you wear now? The MMA gloves, so you can still grab.
Well, while you're at it, Johnny Utah seems to be a bit of an idiot too.
What's he saying?
He says, "What king of person pays to see Stephen Percy?"
Well,
King,
again, he's a fake. It's probably a fake person, right?
King is a typo. Stephen is spelled wrong. Percy is spelled wrong.
Yeah, that's what they get drunk. They're mad. And then when I get drunk and go online, I just end up ordering way too much Culinary from Amazon. And then I return it. I returned a wig earlier this week, and I can't but that's what happens when I get drunk. I don't really go around and hold on, I gotta come over here. Or did you say you're from? I'm gonna tell you something. Do you remember a rat? No, it doesn't happen. I mean, I'm not going to go around and tell people something like that when I'm drunk.
I've spent a lot of time with Johnny when he's drunk, and I don't notice any of that.
I mean, have I said in passing? I mean, I'll say it about myself. I've said it several times how I don't like how I played this night, or I'm still learning the songs, or I made some mistakes, or I'm not as clean as I would like to be. I don't know. It's got to be just someone who, doesn't like me. There are some people out there that don't like me.
I find that hard to believe.
It's true. It's true. And they dig, and
They're jealous. They know that you were the best enough singer. It says it right here.
They're very upset with me.
Well, not Ernest. Ernest went to your page and listened to The Perfect Day, and he loved it, and would have been a great tune for Dusty Springfield to record.
That's very nice. Yeah. Same people that a lot of times will tell you to spread joy, be kind, drink more water, and help you with your journey in 2023 and your weight loss. They are the same people that when you're not looking, they're posting negative stuff that you're talking about.
Oddly enough, the person is not here any longer, apparently, to debate, and that's too bad.
They're probably listening, and they're probably formulating a sentence.
Right.
They're getting ready. I can't go back any further.
S. Nunez, Johnny, says that, I don't know if it's a he or she, but they are sipping wine, and they love you, boss. Cheers.
Okay, that's very kind. I almost got into a fist fight with someone at IKEA that called me boss once, but that's different. He had a lot of face tattoos and was identified as another gender. I didn't know.
That's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
I was upset. I mean, it was chief, then boss. And I was trying to let it slide. He might have thought I was an Indian, which is racist. But I know it's some people they're just being, that's how they speak. It's like saying, hey, buddy, or bro,
Your waist.
Or bruh. What's up, bruh? What's up, bruh? Yeah. Can you imagine me standing there and someone opens up with that? What do I say? So, do you have any more of these lamps? Were they up in the aisle? No, but I can't tell if it's the card says there's more, or they stocked them. Well, that's all. Whatever's there.
All right. Well, hold on. Michael Perez, good friend of the show. Michael Perez, here's for your first Outback dinner of 2023. Well,
I am never going to see that $9.99, but thank you. That's very kind of you.
I will take Johnny to Outback. He's denying that. He will, but no, he probably won't see it. You better go buy a CD of his.
Do you think that you have to stick your hands in the oven at Outback to eat their ribs? Because at Skinwalker Ranch, Las Vegas, you do.
I think it's a new thing they're introducing.
You know what Outback is missing?
What's that?
A torture room.
Yeah, well, they might have one. It might be secret. Johnny, you know where we're going to go next time we go out to eat? We're going to go to
Texas Station.
the Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse.
I'm editing the latest tour diary, Johnny, and we went to Texas Road Station House, and we were watching Tracy Guns play guitar while on the pop. And yeah, remember Tracy Guns played a show.
Oh, that's right. That was the first time we went to Texas Roadhouse Station.
You explained to the people at the Texas Roadhouse Station that their owner. Tell us what they were. Very young girls, and they were very alarmed. Go ahead.
Alarmed? They were mortified. Why don't you tell them? Do you remember? When I tell stories like that, it gets me in more trouble. Why don't you?
I don't remember it exactly, but on our walk over there, you told me, "Hey, you know, the owner of this place got COVID, and then he was really depressed, and he killed himself. He hung himself."
Yeah, because he had tinnitus from it.
Oh, right. He had constant ringing in his ears.
And I have that too. I mean,
yeah.
Let me see if I hear it now. Okay, when I'm sleeping, though, I have to turn on the noise machine. Yeah, and he I guess he went crazy, and I mean that's what I read at least. It could be if someone wants to fact check me.
Like, well, there's these young, lovely teenage or whatever women. They're women who work there, and in that state they're legal as well. And Johnny goes, "Hey, how are you?" And they go, "Well, it'll be a few minutes on the table. Did you know that your owner has someone in his ear? He had to kill himself."
It wasn't that upbeat. We were talking about something, and we're talking about the food and the table of 6 ginormous people eating next to us. And I might have said something like, do you know what happened to the owner? And they were like, "No, what happened? This is my first day." I'm like, "Let me tell you." And then I explained to them. I mean, it's not like a secret. You can Google it.
You told though the hostess, the person who seats us, the waitress.
Well, she was seating us, and she was in training, so she had a person with her that was showing her how to take bad news.
Yeah, you were helping them to get used to it. Sadly, Johnny, I read a story in the news yesterday. Dave and Buster's. Are you familiar with Dave and Buster's?
Yeah, I know I don't know them personally, but I've been there. What about it?
Yeah, it's an adult arcade of sorts where you drink a lot of beer and play a lot of games.
Right.
Buster has committed suicide. I hate to say that. That's a word that they don't like on YouTube, but Buster's taken his life. I think he had a battle with cancer. Anyway,
jeez,
very sad. But the restaurant owners are really going through a lot of hard times right now. But
yeah, I've been in there once. I was not going to go into the ball pit. It's like a human petri dish in that thing. The kids are screaming, licking it.
Make a note of that.
Yeah, you might not want to go in that. They were licking everything and screaming and running in circles, and I don't want to play with them.
Might make for a good video. Is Stephen Piercy coming to Canada? I don't know about that. I don't know, but there's good stuff. I just can't say much about it. Will Stephen Piercy be in Sweden in 2033? I don't know. I can't say that either. I doubt it, but who knows?
I don't think my car can make it to Sweden.
No, I don't think so either. But if we leave now, you never know. Anyway,
put it on one of those boats where they take it across the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, rest in peace to Buster. But they got great rolls at that Texas.
Do they?
Roadhouse. Yeah, you don't remember that?
I like sliced bread, like just dried, sliced Italian. I don't like it buttery and poofy.
Well, they have a cinnamony butter.
I do remember that now that you mention it, I can actually taste it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they had good something else there too, like the tea was good or something.
Yeah, it's a good experience, and
right on the street.
Yeah, well, with a few more super chats, and we'll be there. Still 200 people hanging on to every word that we say. Obviously, we worked very hard to bring you this entertainment. We spare no expense in entertainment. Mike in Tampa also loves the rolls. Mike, drive out to Key West and come to the Lollapalooza of rock or whatever island it is. Anthony likes the butter as well. This is the kind of thing I'm sure Eddie Trunk doesn't talk about. Well, maybe he does. Hey, Mr. Malou is watching from Bangkok, downtown Bangkok.
Oh, I want to go there.
Yeah.
Seen pictures of that place? It's crazy. It's just so
pictures of cock, but not necessarily Bangkok.
It's amazing. That place, the skyscrapers and the the architecture.
Jet asks a good question, Johnny Monaco. This is going to really cause a stir. Johnny, what is your favorite Italian dish?
Well,
don't say Sophia Loren.
It's funny. Enough Funicello. I go for the basics. I would pretty much just go with, like a mastacholi or some form of a pasta dish with just a regular meat sauce. But not everybody has the meat sauce down.
You enjoy bolognese, is what you really enjoy.
Bolognese is, yes, but if it's not made right, it's
right.
It's horrible. But bolognese or like a rigatoni with meat sauce. But I'm very specific.
Johnny does not like baked dishes. I like a baked dish. I like the rigatoni with a cheese all over it, I like that. Like a baked ziti. Johnny doesn't like that. He's a purist. He'll take a nice bowl of spaghetti with a good sauce. That's it. He's not.
I don't like it when they mix it all together. I like it just the pasta, and then they put the gravy just right on top, and a lot of it though. So then I can distribute it how I like. I don't like it all mixed together. It just reminds me of like leftovers, like we used to have growing up. Yeah. My dad eating out of the refrigerator and, his underwear. And it's like, that's what the Italians, it's how we do it. But it's like, he was fine with it. I'm a little, picky with that. I like to get the plain noodles, whatever it is, and then just gobs of sauce. And then I just tons of cheese. The plate's actually fairly heavy, but I got to slow down because, pictures.
I agree with you. I think that is the right way to do it. Don't mix it together. Pasta, sauce on top.
And they look at me like I'm crazy when I ask them to do that. They're like, oh, we got another one. It's like, because they usually just whip it up in the back really quick. She's like, let me go tell them. It's like,
Billy wants to ask, gun to your head, Italian or Mexican food. I think that it depends if it's a Mexican who has the gun to our head.
Italian.
Italian, of course.
I like Mexican food too, but
How do people know that you had dinner with Ron Mancuso? Did we talk about it? Maybe we did.
No, he's probably just asking.
No, we did. No, we did. That's right. On the last show, you had to leave. I talked to the Bellas. The last time I talked to 4 teenage girls, and without getting a restraining order, was nice. But you went to dinner, and yes, how was that dinner?
It's good. It was had a little party over there. Stayed a little too long.
What'd you have?
Well, I had the bolognese, and then we had wine, and I didn't have the sliced bread. They have their own bread. So I didn't eat much of that, but it's good. For me, I like, like Italian bread sliced.
You're old school. People do love the bread at the Bootlegger Bistro. It's little breadlets, if you will, little squares, and they have a little sauce to dip it in, and it has a little bit of a garlicky taste. I like it for everybody.
It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's just I'm very specific with that stuff. And then it was her birthday, and this girl Jill, Ryan Johnson's lovely wife. We went out there, and he showed me. Ron was actually super nice. It was the first time I actually met Ron in person, and he took me around. He showed me around the whole place, and took me in the back and showed me the studio. And there's a Copa lounge room where they have performances, and there's rehearsal rooms and smaller production studios, and there's the main studio. He's got a really nice compound over there, and he's just I was comfortable with him. He's a super nice guy. Got along. We were both wearing suits. We both looked like we were in the mafia. Everybody else there looked like they were from Henderson, and we I think we got along well. And he invited me to come to the New Year's Eve show.
Well, he was alarmed, Johnny, that you had no plans for the holidays, that you were going to drive home by yourself and you were going to be miserable. Now, I want to point out for those who don't know, at that studio, they've recorded bands like Five Finger Death Punch, and Ron himself recorded Jakey Lee's albums there, Ace Frehley. And Ron's career going back, he's played with Cher, and he was in his own band called Beggars and Thieves. My favorite piece of his work was the Savage Streets soundtrack, starring Linda Blair. He's a very accomplished musician. His mother was the lieutenant governor here in Nevada, and the family owns the Bootlegger Bistro. So, and it's a great place to go, and has that old school Vegas feel.
Yeah.
Oh, they're calling you now. But so people, I got distracted by your IM, Johnny.
Sorry.
It's all. I really do think I'm getting dementia. I think it's all
Constantly being attacked all day.
Johnny, look what I got here. I got this. This is the Battlestar Galactica box set. Remember these things? The Cyclones?
Yeah, it's nice.
Cylon, yeah. Isn't that cool? It just happens to be laying on the floor. I brought home things from my storage unit, and now they're laying all over my house. So we were talking about
toys all over the place at your place.
Look there behind me. I believe $30,000 worth of Funko Pops. So
it looks like something when in Dexter, when the ice road trucker would put the hands and the fingers and parts inside the case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is similar.
They're not that violent though. I don't think you would do something like that.
No, here's a new one, newest edition. This is Robert Smith of The Cure. It's a cool one.
What? Oh, I thought you were going to say Sweet. I thought you said Robert Sweet.
Oh no, that would be something.
He's very
anyway,
nice.
So you were talking about how Ron was concerned that you would have no fun on New Year's Eve, and he invited you to a very exclusive party. In fact, they sold 25 tickets, I believe.
Yeah, but those tickets were like $40,000 each.
That is correct. Now, tell us what you were invited to.
I was invited to the Bruce Kulik New Year's Eve extravaganza.
That's right.
Here in Las Vegas, where you could purchase a ticket and you'd be flown out.
I don't think you were flown anywhere.
Okay. Well, you find your own way to Las Vegas, preferably by sleigh, because it is the holidays. Or I think Striper had a jet you could charter. So you come here, and then they put you up. Mm-hmm. Right? You find your own lodging. Is that right? And then, anyways, it's 3 days. I think on the first day is a Tuesday. Enough starts today. Wait, no, that's Florida. Sorry. You get here, and then it's 3 days. It's an event. I don't remember exactly. You could probably find it, but the first day is something, and then you have a good time and you talk about Kiss.
I mean, are you sure you have a good time? I mean,
well, if you're coming out here for that, you're excited.
Okay, so that's guaranteed. Okay.
You're guaranteed to have a good time. You come here, you have a good time on the first day, they ease you in. And then something else happens on the second day. I believe.
Well, hold on, Johnny. We need to really deep dive into this. I mean,
something to do with Kiss.
Well, oh, really? Hold on, Johnny. Hold on. First of all, more importantly, Rebel from the Waist Down with a super chat. Thank you so much. Happy New Year, Jason, Johnny. Have you two ever thought about creating music together? What are your signs? I'll do a tarot reading on you two. Oh, that's good, Johnny.
Okay.
Johnny, one day you and I will create some music together. I think so. We have different ideas of things, but that might be good. But I can't.
I don't know. You wrote that Christmas song. That sounds kind of up my alley. It had some changes in there.
Yeah, you did enjoy it. You did.
And it was good, yeah.
Too. Yeah. So who knows? Me and Johnny could do something. Our signs. I am a Sagittarius. Johnny?
I'm obviously a Gemini snake.
Okay, so there you go. We'd appreciate the reading. Let us know if it's anything fatal. Maybe don't tell me. Okay, so thank you for that. I wanted to get that out of the way. Now, Johnny, I interrupted you. You're talking about the Bruce Kulik New Year's Rocking Eve party weekend. I just happen to have the itinerary right here. Okay, so this is the New Year's Eve experience. Now, the cheapest ticket you can get was $1,995. So it's $2,000 to get in.
Are you sure? I heard 40.
That might have been for a special thing.
Yeah, they throw in the bread.
Right. It's good bread. An additional guest is 1,695.
There, now that adds up to. Oh, that's still in the. How much is that for?
So it's about 3,600 for two. But listen, let's just see what's included in this package. Hold on.
Wow.
I'm going to put on my spectacle eyewear. I haven't heard from them in a long time and haven't sent me anything else. But
it's weird. I don't know why.
Yeah, the ultimate New Year's Eve weekend fan experience for the ultimate fan, limited to 50 guests. Each guest will engage with Bruce, Lisa, and the BK band during this special event.
Engage.
Yeah, you get engaged, which is sweet.
I didn't know about that part.
Lisa is his wife, and they make pancakes together, blueberry pancakes.
And they wrote a song together. It's on YouTube.
Yes. Well, they also sang these glasses suck. I wish he would send me something.
What are you talking about? You look so modern in those. Look like Henry Fonda when you wear those.
Yeah. I look
guilty.
I look like Jane Fonda. So he and Lisa, they did a cover of that Snow song from White Christmas. I hate that song.
Snow. Wait, how's it go? Oh, it was stuck in my head for like hours the other day. I don't
Michelle
remember
knows that movie, but I can't stand it.
No. It was something. No. I don't remember it. Something about it.
Well,
but it was very fascinating.
So she's Kiss royalty as is he. So obviously you want to spend time with them. All activities have been.
That's it.
Yeah, that was nice. Got it. You should duet with him as well.
I don't like Christmas. So
all activities have been designed to provide a level of interaction and personalization never experienced before. If you want the most rocking New Year's Eve celebration, join us. And I asked Bruce, I know him, I texted him. I said, hey, if you got anything you want to promote, yeah, come on my show. He said, well, thank you very much. And I have never heard from him since. So it began on Friday afternoon. You have lunch with Bruce, Lisa, and the BK band. The BK stands for Burger King, I believe.
No, past employees. No, that's not true. Tell them who was in the band. Okay,
I will. The BK band.
Well, hold on. Well, it gets at the bottom. Like, continue doing what you're doing. So, so there's lunch with Bruce and Lisa and the BK Lounge, and then miniature golf. I'm assuming that's golf with little people.
Yes. I think full-size people were allowed to play as well. But
you get to go to the museum.
And you go to the Kiss World Museum. That's right.
What's that?
It's in the Rio Hotel, which is a dump.
Oh,
yeah, and you get to...
I thought that's where the golf game was, though.
The golf game is there, too. Then you step over to the museum, which is right next door. All of Gene Simmons' tchotchkes are laying around, and you get to see them.
So far, let's add this up. How much is it to go to the Kiss World Museum?
$20?
How much for the golf?
$10?
For sure. You're not exaggerating.
No, I'm probably being higher, maybe. That's
about right. So that's 40 off. There's 40. So 199 minus 40.
All right.
So we're at about
1,999.
Okay, so we're at about whatever that comes out to be.
Well, it would be at about 1960. Yeah.
So you're good with the numbers. I get it. In this life. So so then
Friday evening, that same evening, you then go have a cocktail party and a gourmet dinner.
Okay.
Special entertainment by members of Bruce's band, the BK Band, acoustic live. Okay.
Okay, so where are we at? 125? All in?
Yeah, I think dinner and cocktails is probably $60 bucks. I think you're being generous. I'd say we're at 1,900 now after that nonsense.
1,900. So
anyway, then after the Friday evening with you get an acoustic performance, that's got to be worth, $8 or $9.
$29.
Yeah, and then no, too much. Saturday afternoon, you get to have brunch with Bruce and Lisa again.
Oh boy.
And then you go to the Bling art exhibit. I don't know what that is.
Is that
Probably
like,
in their house.
you mean like to get some grills?
Maybe.
I got grills. I bought some grills.
Bruce Kulik was shot in a drive-by by gangbangers in front of the Rainbow.
Maybe they. Okay, so the brunch, is it like one-on-one, or does he like sit there and address the entire table? Because if that's the case, you got to chop those in half.
All 50 jackasses are probably there. And he probably goes from table to table. Hey, are you like Bernie Capel or something, or Gavin McLeod? Hey, are you enjoying your brunch? You know, would you like Lisa would like to come over to each table and sing for you or something like that?
Okay, so the Bling art exhibit. We're not sure exactly what that is, but we think it's when someone's wheels don't fit their car.
It's probably something that they got coupons for in the back of a cab or cut out of a magazine.
Okay, then it says, "Welcome to our world." Retrospective, welcoming to the world.
Right. Okay. So
that is.
That's probably like they show the pilot for Bruce and Lisa living together kind of thing. And hey, we get up in the morning and we make blueberry pancakes. And
okay, that's okay.
I'm guessing it's that kind of thing.
Married to a rock star.
Yeah. So that is a Q&A with his wife. Okay, and his wife talked about what it's like to be married to Bruce Kulik.
Okay. All right. So where are we at?
I think you have to deduct money for that, right?
Well, if you're paying for that, where are we at? 18?
Yeah, but if you got to listen to her tell stories, we'll probably back up to 19.
Let's just go with them. Let's say 1850.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Which brings us to the night that I was invited to because I was going to be alone. I was. Well,
do you think when she does the Q&A, she's like, "Let me tell you, Bruce leaves his dirty socks all over the house. He never puts the seat down." You mean like, do you think it's that kind of thing?
No, I don't think they bring that up, or you can't hit him anymore.
Do you think she says stuff like, "Bruce shits bouillon. He is the most talented man I've ever seen. It's more of that."
Maybe more of that. I don't know either of them. I'm sure they're very nice.
They're both. I've met them. They're both very nice. Yeah.
Okay. So.
Okay.
So you talk about what happens in the course of a day, then the big event that I was invited to. This better add up to like $1,000.
Johnny, we have an update. Bling exhibit is Lisa bedazzling photos. Really? She puts glitters on photos and sells them. Okay, so that's her.
Okay, so we're at 1850.
Sure. Okay. All right, continue.
Okay, so that's all I can stop thinking about now is how I need Bling. Okay, so we're at the big event. It is a cocktail party held at the Bootlegger in the back in the Copa Lounge, at the Copacabana, totally different place. And it's a private room set up like with sound, and there's chairs, and it's kind of like a showroom, sort of like the Golden Nugget, with a runway, and then
a vanity ramp.
Okay, and then it says cocktail and gourmet dinner. Now I'm assuming since it's at the place, they're providing the food, or do they outsource it from a gourmet chef?
They outsourced one of the things from some bagel world or something.
I've been to Bagel World. Great parking. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if that's the actual place. I'd like to go to that Bagel World. I see it's by the convention center. I'd like.
That's not exactly gourmet though.
No, but they did that, I think, for the brunch or something. I know that.
Okay.
But
okay. So
Saturday night, the gourmet dinner was at the Bootlegger. I'm sure he put out the.
Okay, so so cocktail party gourmet. Oh no, this says gourmet dinner.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, and then there's a celebrity roast, which
I was upset. I was upset by this, and I'll tell you why, Johnny. I think you and I are, we are world-renowned entertainers now.
Why would you want someone to roast you at your own thing?
Also, these assholes all pulled punches, Johnny. You and I would have given a real good old-fashioned roast.
But wait, why would you want someone to roast you at your event?
Because it's supposed to be funny.
Oh, I don't think it would be funny. I think it would be terrible. Also, I think maybe roasting implies that you've gained to another level, like when the Dean Martin and people, like, they would roast like huge stars. So maybe by saying, I'm being roasted, it implies that you've, been accepted into elite.
Let's just say Eddie Trunk was there and you were roasting. What was the first thing you would say?
Hey, everybody. So they had me at roast.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people would attend just for the roast. I would have enjoyed it. I would have enjoyed roasting him. Everyone else had kid gloves and said nice things. Bruce
now where's that roast?
Yeah, Bruce Kulik is such a Jew. How Jew is he? That kind of stuff.
I heard there was going to be a roast.
Yeah, special guest entertainment. Yeah,
all right.
A lot of crackers only.
Special guest entertainment.
Probably
BK Lounge Band, Live and Loud.
Right.
Ring in 2023 with Bruce and his band.
He's not mentioning Lisa here. Maybe Lisa is the special guest, or maybe she doesn't come back for this.
It wouldn't his band not be capitalized unless you're speaking of Jesus?
You make an interesting point. Okay.
Well, let's okay. So why don't you tell everybody who is in the BK Lounge Band?
Sure. The BK Broiler Band is Todd Kearns. Todd Kearns is best known for his work
in suing you.
In suing me. I actually, Johnny, I'm not allowed to say that.
Oh, well, you didn't say it.
No, you said it actually.
I heard it on the street. That's what they're saying. This is
that's alleged. Town. That's alleged. Who won would be more interesting. But anyway, so Todd Kearns worked with the Sin City Sinners, and he's a nice enough fella when he's not taking legal action. Anyway, he was there, and then Zachariah Throne, he was there. He's in the tribe, obviously. Mm-hmm. I see him from time to time. He's very fake nice with me.
He was also in that Chris Angel thing.
Yeah, I saw him at the Chris Angel birthday party. He acted like we were BFFs, and then it was all bullshit. And so, yeah, he's there. He plays the bass, and then the drummer is Brent Fitz.
So how many Canadians?
Two Canadians.
It seems like a lot.
2 Jews. The only people of any other persuasion were the servers or the busboys.
Seems like a lot of Canadians.
Yeah, they look like us, though.
Yeah, but they're shapeshifters.
Someone makes a good point. Bruce Kulik has already been roasted by Kiss. Yeah.
Okay, so how much for that performance would you say? Was it $60, $80, 100? Let's just say 100.
I would say it's New Year's Eve.
120?
$100.
So what are we down to?
He plays all kinds of Kiss songs that are deep.
So that's what they do. They sing Gene Simmons songs sung by Todd Kearns of Canada. And
then, Todd Kearns sings Paul Stanley songs. And then Zach Throne sings Gene Simmons songs. And Bruce Kulik plays the songs that he played on the album. And they play other Kiss songs, too.
Okay, so what was the final tally? Anyways.
Well, somebody had it here in the comments. They came up with $16.95. They wanted to know where the rest of that went.
Okay.
Here it is. Someone was doing the math. What does the additional $16.95 cost? Well, I think they put out cots at their house, and everyone got to sleep in the kitchen in front of the fire. No, I don't know.
The guy's got to eat.
Listen, Kiss fans are insane. I apologize, Kiss fans, but
how much do you think they made?
Well, let's just say they really made let's just say they sold the 50 spots. We don't know that they did. Now, can those 50 people bring a guest? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right. It's kind of hard to judge. But let's just say they sold.
Well, 50 times 2,000 is $100,000. If they get the guest gets a discount, he could have made somewhere around 130,000, 140,000. Could have.
if people asked for more bread at the table?
Well, it's on a case by case basis, but I think they will divvy it up. Either everything, it's an upsale, it's an upcharge. If you wanted a T-shirt or memorabilia or extra bread, or to use the restroom, that's another fee.
So they're still making $100,000, even if you want more bread. You have to just pay more.
You figure he pays the BK band, $75 each, whatever the competitive wages for guys.
$1,000 each.
Maybe it's New Year's Eve, so maybe he gave those guys $1,000.
That's more than I made that week, and I didn't have any bread at all. I'm trying to lose 3 pounds.
Yeah, but anyway, listen. By the way, I'm not really. We're having some fun with this, but somebody probably had a great time. I don't think there was any refunds, and I'm guessing maybe they cleared $50,000. That's great. Hey, more power to Bruce Kulik and Lisa. I enjoy their blueberry pancake videos. I'd like them to come on here and talk about it with us. I doubt they will. But hey, what a great racket. The other Jews, Kiss were staying home. So,
do you think that one drummer went? I seen him at the deli that one day.
Eric Singer, I didn't hear any involvement from Eric Singer.
Are they get along, those two, right? Don't they?
They do, yeah. They had bands together, and
maybe he was there. Why wouldn't he be playing in it?
Someone wants to know if people really pay for Q&A with his wife. No offense to his wife, who's a lovely lady, but I'm not sure that I needed a Q&A with her. I will mention, though, at the next Stephen Piercy show, Michelle will be doing Q&A. She'll be talking about life with me, and it's a very affordable event. So, that'll be happening soon. Somebody says, remember when the brothers played in Meatloaf? I remember when they paid in Meatloaf. That's what Todd Kearns probably got for the night. Extra slice of meatloaf. But yes, Bruce Kulik and Bob Kulik both played. It's amazing how still Johnny becomes sometimes when he's deep in thought. But,
I was pretending it froze.
You did good.
Sometimes
it is a good thing that Mr. Drummond called the authorities. I tend to agree.
No, I was just reading these.
Anything good?
I just look at the bad ones.
You're not able to highlight these, are you?
I don't think so.
Okay, we have to work on that.
I don't think I could do anything. I think I'm just like another.
Did Dimebag get buried in a Kiss coffin?
Oh God.
The answer is yes. He did.
This Kiss stuff. Man.
They gave him They gave him a very good price. No, they donated it to the family. And true story, Johnny Monaco. I don't know if you know this. Eddie Van Halen took the Women and Children First guitar, and he put it into the casket with the Kiss casket. I'll
tell you what, they have beautiful caskets at Costco.
Yeah, you were telling me you were in the market.
It's nicer than my bed. I don't know and cheaper. It's all black. You could block all the light out if you come home at 5 a.m.
Dual purpose if you just got that and slept in it. Then when your time comes, close it up, move it out.
I think I'd have a panic attack in there, but it's kind of like being in the bus, in the bunk, because there's no light, but you can't really. I could probably move around if you get like a real big one,
right?
But if I'm gonna sleep in a casket, I better have the gift of flight.
Everyone enjoyed Michelle's appearances, and we're gonna get to everyone's asking. They want to know what the hell happened at this PF Chang's. I want to know too. But we will get to that. That's what we call
idiots.
A tease in the industry. Anyway, in that upcoming episode, though, the guy who was driving us, his name escapes me right now, but he was our driver for the trip. He was at the event where Dimebag was tragically shot, and so were other people in their crew and in security. Very sad. Anyway, he tells that story. It's sad, but it's an interesting story. I was going to go to the venue. It has been torn down, maybe for the better. Anyway, okay, let's see what we got here. Someone says, and I have to agree, that Johnny would return his coffin.
Slightly used. I don't think you probably could return coffins.
I'm kidding.
It's just getting it there and back would be kind of a hassle. So you really better be.
Who knew Costco even had coffins?
The cat knew. No, they make them. They're silver. They're gold. There's a black one.
Silver and gold.
There's some pretty nice ones. Very sleek, portable. I mean, it would look great in the room. You have someone come over. I'm sure people do that. There's these gothic guys that they think they're vampires, and the girls they probably sleep in coffins, right?
Rob says a Costco casket is $1,149, much more affordable than the Bruce Kulik Thanksgiving dinner. I got to give this cat food, so she'll be quiet. So Johnny, you just talk.
My bad. Well, yeah, I just don't know that the padding in that would be sufficient for long-term use. I think they make them for one time. And I think when they make them, they're like, let's just make it look good. We don't need it to be super comfortable because they're not going to really feel it. Well, for a while, some people get buried alive accidentally. Those people. But by the time they're complaining, they're going to run out of oxygen. So I'm assuming that it's not very comfortable in there, but you could retrofit it. You can get like a topper, maybe some lights, put some lights in there, USB port, maybe a television, little like in the car, and little tube for oxygen, air filter. You could probably totally deck it out.
They say you can add memory foam to the bottom, 4 inches, 5-pound density. That's not bad.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking, it might be the breathing might be a little weird, but I like that it be dark in there because then you can come in at any time, and just my room's like that now. I blacked out my windows.
I have too.
But if you don't have that, and you don't feel like getting out the squeegee and getting all the stuff to, it's a little bit of work blacking out those windows.
Do you think now that the Kuliks made so much money on New Year's that every holiday will have an event, like there'll be a Valentine's Day event, and essentially they just do the cruise, but they do it here in Las Vegas. Do you think there'll be like a Kulik's Valentine's Day with the BK Broiler Band?
We can only hope.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll be invited.
It's going to be the cost of that brunch.
Indie Cult loves to ask questions, Johnny, about your career. He's a fan, and I don't blame him. Johnny, why doesn't Donnie acknowledge all you did with Enough's Enough? I have opinions on this, but let's start with Johnny, because he knows better than I do.
Johnny or the other one?
Well, then let me say, because I think that's where it's mixed up. Chip is the one who pretends that Johnny never happened. Chip does interviews. I saw one recently, Against My Will, where he talks about how there's the original Enough's Enough, and Derek Frigo died, and now there's this band that he has, this below average band that he has now, and he leaves out. Yeah, he leaves out the Johnny Monaco years, and he leaves out a lot of years, and he leaves out a lot of Donnie's work with the band as well, and songs that Donnie had written. So, but at the same time, I understand what he's doing. The idea is you're trying to sell this bullshit you have, and you just act like this is the band, and you hope no one knows, and you hope that people who only are familiar with the 1 or 2 MTV songs just accept this shit band and believe that maybe he's the singer. I think he thinks because he looks like an ice cream man, or that people maybe think that he's the guy. As far as Donnie goes, my opinion is that at one point, I think Donnie had a slight issue because Johnny was doing really good. He was fronting the band. And I think maybe Donnie V was a little bummed out that, that Johnny was keeping his band afloat. And it was a good thing. And Johnny seemed to go back and forth because there was a time when you would go play with Donnie and kind of move around. But I don't think Donnie ignores Johnny's involvement. I think that's Chip. So, and I'm sorry if I got that wrong.
No, I was going to say early onset Alzheimer's, but maybe it's selective thinking, and it's kind of like if you were to have a baby and it came out and it was Puerto Rican, and then you just like, I guess like the bastard child, I don't know. I think maybe he just has a chip on his shoulder because I think he feels he gave me my start. And then after, a long, long time, maybe 16 years, sometimes you just move on from people. And I did, because I wasn't feeling it anymore. It's not my fault. Give me something to feel. And if I moved on and maybe felt like I wasn't, what's the word? Gratitude. What's the word? Something like that. And maybe he didn't feel that I appreciated things. I mean, that's all I can really think of. I mean, that and my podcast might have been a little, I want to say they were funny. Maybe he thought they were a little upsetting. And that's the way to get back, is just don't even bring his name up. Don't mention him. He never existed. Except we talk, everything's fine. So I don't know.
That's what Chris, Chris is an asshole, but that's what the point he's trying to make. He's claiming that we had lunch together, Jason, Johnny, Chip, and that it was a golden opportunity to be honest. We did not have lunch together. After a show, Johnny and I found a menu to order food, and we're eating in the lobby, and Chip said he would like to have some food, and he took his food up to his room. We talked for a little while. A fan came over with an Enough's Enough record. The back of the record, a picture of Johnny Monaco. Chip held it up. He signed the record. He never mentioned that the guy, the talented guy, is sitting right across from him. He didn't do that. He pretended that never happened. But anyway, it wasn't the place to bash him. And then Chris also is to try to start trouble. He said, I'll paraphrase. It's hard to speak as stupid as he is sometimes, but he said something like, did I tell his band that they're BS? I don't even know who's in his band. I could not name a member of Enough's Enough. I have no idea who those guys are. I've seen them in passing. They didn't look glam. They didn't look slam. I have not seen a Derek Frigo or a Johnny Monaco in that band. I certainly don't see a Donnie V in that band, and I find it difficult to call that Enough's Enough. I'm Team Donnie 100%. I think they should put that band to bed. I don't think I would ever see them. If they were playing on my balcony right now, I would call the police. I have no interest. And so, anyway, I don't talk to these people. People think we go to these festivals and we all hang out.
We were kind of forced into it because we walked in and we were kind of put on the spot. That was the whole story I told when I was in the elevator and it was closing and I waved at the guitar player and he just kind of went,
right,
because he doesn't like me, because I don't spread kindness like him and Gandhi do.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus, although lately. But because I'm not a well-wisher, I don't exactly wish ill will on people. But because I don't spread the kindness that you should, being a better person than most. Yeah, so.
Somebody was saying that maybe, sorry, Johnny, someone was saying that maybe we should put Chris on the first time out of the year. I thought, well, I'm only going to do that if he says something stupid. Well, here he says, Chip sounds exactly like Donnie V when singing the classic tune.
There you go. Well, there you go.
And I thank him for that. We're going to put him in the first time out of the year. And there it is.
Well, that's unfortunate. See, now that kind of thing deserves banishment.
Mm-hmm.
Almost.
Yeah, that was too much. So anyway.
I mean, I think he's doing it just to like get under the skin. Because I mean, I've heard people say that, and I'm assuming they either have a tumor they don't know about, or they are just doing it to be kind. Because that's what you do nowadays. You don't tell them the truth. You just say something that's, if it's so outrageous or so negative, if you just come back with something kind, then all is forgiven. The horribleness that you possess and the knowability is, is taken away because he's such a kind person.
Taskmaster is trying to say that the joke is about him lip syncing. I thought that might have been the joke as well, but he doesn't lip sync to a Donnie V track. He lip syncs to his own track. So recorded by Johnny Monaco, I believe.
Thank you. Yeah. And you would think that if you were to put a vocal track, to sing with, it would be, really if you're going to do the same thing live, why are you doing the track?
Right.
You know, if it was really good, but then people might be, that's not him. It's not how good it is. But then you got to get someone else to sing it. It's a mess. It's
Johnny,
like
can you believe there's 250 people hanging on the edge of their seat, excited to kick off the 2023 year with us?
Yeah, I think that's great. And I think that I don't know if it can get any worse. So, you know, I think 2023 is going to be kind of like a up incline getting towards normalcy, you know, because really it hasn't been normal for so long that, you know, even if there's like not a nuclear war, we're doing okay. It's going to only go up, right? How much worse can it get? I mean, look what's going on. Look at who's playing in these bands. This guy's singing, this guy's not, this guy's out, this guy's here. It's Armageddon. It's like my sock drawer out there. Chickens, fucking cows, and goats, and animals.
Speaking of chicken fucking, question: any chance of getting Phil Lewis on here with Johnny for 2023? I don't think that's as ridiculous as you think. I'm not sure I would want to entertain that, but I think it's not that ridiculous. But someone had another interesting comment. They were asking if you remember the Thirsty Whale.
Of course. I mean, that was the only reason I'm in Enough's Enough, or was. I keep thinking I'm still in the band. That's great. Is because I used to go to the Thirsty Whale and see all the bands.
Is it still there?
No. There's a McDonald's there now. And it's right next to a very famous hot dog stand, old school, called Gene and Jude's. And
what's it called? Gene and Juice?
Gene and Jude's.
Gene and Jude's. Okay.
And it's right there, and there's a river right across the street, and it always floods in that intersection all the time. It's a nightmare. But yeah, I used to go to Thirsty Whale all the time, and I actually played with Enough's Enough. It was right when I joined, 96, the last 2 days of the Thirsty Whale's existence. And Jim Ellison of Material Issue came up and played a song with us. I think it's on YouTube somewhere. And then like a month later, he hung himself.
Did he have ownership in the Texas Roadhouse?
No, and in his defense, he didn't really hear Chip singing at that point either. So it wasn't that. But I mean, I didn't even know him really. He seemed really nice. And Nash Cato, I think, was there too. Same glasses as you. And he, I used to go to the Thirsty Whale and see all the bands. I think I might have played there once or twice because I was really young. And I entered a guitar contest, like a shred guitar contest that I didn't win, but the guy who won went crazy. I think he's in jail now. But
Ingrid?
No. And this guy Doug Ziering, he was really nice though. It's crazy. But yeah, he Thirsty Whale was great. Wish it was still around. It's not.
Johnny, question is, what are your professional goals for 2023? What is the hardest thing about being a musician in 2023? And since we're talking about goals, Johnny, I knew we were very close to, you were very close to releasing your solo album. She Said She Found Her Soulmate. You did not make the cutoff for the new year, but let us know. Hopefully that's part of your exciting plans for the new year. Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of like number one. I really want to get that finished. You know, I play a lot of shows. Some I find to be kind of pointless, and they're just, you know, getting me money so I can pay the rent to live here in a place that I really don't like. And then other things, like when I play with Piercy and stuff, I look at it as like a way to take it up a notch and to like really work on my playing and to see these new places and, you know, meet new people. And, you know, I didn't know any of the people in this band even a year ago. So I think that's a fair accomplishment. And just to get better, you know. So I think my goal is to just to keep improving and to get my album out and to hopefully tour as much as I can, because you know, just to stay healthy. And I'll play these local shows, you know, as much as I have to keep it rolling. But I'm trying to get to always to the next, level. And I'm not sure how to do that. So I know you should have a plan. I don't watch enough Instagram pyramid scheme educational videos, but I'm going to start.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Okay, well, that sounds like a very exciting year. Rooster says, Rooster 69, his professional goal is to see Johnny Monaco in 2023,
Wow.
which is a great.
That's very nice. Also, I want to get in shape. Right. I want to start. I really got to start working out. I'm lazy with that. I don't do enough cardio, and I want to lower my blood pressure a little bit, and I want to eat less meat, unless it's someone's taking me out for a $200 steak. Then I'm probably gonna eat it. And that too, though. I really want to feel better about waking up in the morning, because I wake up, I'm tired. I think a lot of that has to do with mattress firm, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Well, I'm getting to everybody. We've been talking for an hour and 46 minutes. I am going to cut this off at the 2-hour mark. I have got the worst headache today. It rained here. I got sinuses. I got my blood sugar's gone up and down. Listen, I could go on all day. A lot of questions for Johnny. What is Johnny's dream gig? Do you want to be a solo artist or a hired gun type? Who would you love to play with long term?
Well, you always want to do your own thing, and I would love to put a band together and play my tunes and go out on the road, and play all the pop tunes that I want, throw some guitar in there. That'd be great. That's ultimately what I would like to do. If I was going to be a hired guitar player in a band, who would I want to play with? Well, but you mean like McCartney or something like that? Of course you'd want that gig. I really don't know. I don't know how to answer that right. I don't think there's one band out there right now that I'd say, oh, that's the one for me. I like to keep changing things up and just keep moving forward, So I don't know.
Yeah, I think that sounds good. Anyway, so PF Chang's, Johnny. I don't know what happened. The other night you were at Town Square. Mark Sanchez was nice enough to pick up the bill. Mark, if you're watching, Johnny and I are going to go to Texas Roadhouse right now. Call ahead, please. Get us a table of 4. No, just kidding. Anyway, and Johnny had beef and broccoli, and it was fantastic. The portions were right. The service was right.
It's great.
Johnny likes to take his food to go. When he's alone, sometimes people do that. I like to eat in the restaurant. Maybe not if I'm by myself or at a place like PF Chang's, but I think sometimes the food tastes better when they prepare it there. When they throw it in that little shaky thing, and you take it home and it's a little cold, maybe it's not as good. But Johnny, I read your Yelp review. You had a very bad experience. Was it the same PF Chang's?
Yeah, it didn't seem like it though. I've been there
What
3 or 4 times. I don't know, man. I've been there 3 or 4 times. It was great. I thought I found a new place. It's a little pricey, but it's close. And I like to mix it up, and I'm trying to eat more vegetables. And, I know people are complaining and saying, oh, it's fast food. What do you expect? But it's not like going to McDonald's or something. No. So I don't know. I always call in the car. I get out of my stupid place and I get on the road because it's right down the street. And as soon as I get on Las Vegas Boulevard, I start the call because I know how long it'll take for them to make it. So it was ringing and ringing and ringing, and I was almost there. Like, it took that long. Like, I was 6-7 minutes. And then someone picks it up and they're like, let me transfer you to that part of the restaurant. So I get transferred, and it just kept ringing. I literally drove all the way there, walked in with the phone, watching it ring. So I get there, and this girl's new. She wasn't even Chinese. She was running around and trying to do like 4 jobs. I felt bad for her. She was trying. She looked like she was just learning. No one was helping her. Nobody. Bad management. Someone should have helped her. She's trying to do 4 things at once. There's only 2 other people in the entire place working, and they were way on the other side. So I wasn't mad about that. I get it. I understand. I'm like, hey, how are you? So I ordered. I tried, she didn't get it right, and she did. And there were people coming in. She was trying to help other people. So she put the order in. It's fine. I signed up for the rewards thing, so I had to give her my number, my customer number. I'm deleting. And I ordered the lo mein with chicken.
Well, there's where you went wrong.
Well, I thought I would try something different. Usually it's just like rice or no, vegetable and a protein. Just tried this one and I got it and I got home and it was terrible. It was cold. It was so salty. I thought I was going to go into a coma. I could barely eat it. There was no vegetables, greased out, and the chicken was like they re-warmed it up. They were sort of breaded and sort of weren't. And the pieces looked like they were taken from different things, and it was dried out, and it was like break apart, like kind of like Clark, Griswold when he's eating the turkey. And it was just terrible. And I was hungry, so I kind of had to eat it, but it was so salty. It was just awful.
Did you call them to register a complaint? I know it's hard to get through.
No, I wasn't going to say anything, but they hound you, these places. We need a review. We need you to tell how it was. We want to hear from you. And I'm like, No, you don't. But I got like 2 or 3 of those within like an hour. So I'm like, you know what? Here's my review. And I just told them exactly what happened. And then if you look at everybody.
Can you read us the review, Johnny?
I probably could find it somewhere. And everybody, and then as I'm doing that, everybody was like, oh, that place has gone down. I mean, all these negative like comments, they would not do very well on.
You did good the other weeks. And now, Johnny, normally when you have that kind of experience, someone should reach out to you and make your experience better.
Well, maybe they're mad at me because of I'm sitting there in front of this crap chicken, whatever. And I got a fortune cookie, and the fortune cookie said, "Others will appreciate your good sense of humor this week." Signed, PF Chang's, which may or may not be racist. So I said, PF Chang's asked for a review, but it's okay because evidently it will be appreciated this week. Hashtag PF Chang's. Hashtag Town Square, Las Vegas. Hashtag refund. So it says, signature lo mein, cold, way too salty, almost unedible. Like you're going to slip into a coma salty. Chicken was dried out and tasted recooked. Almost no vegetables. Whoever cooked this does not have it together. Waited 10 minutes plus on hold. Eventually had to drive to the restaurant and order in person while I was still on hold and heard it ringing. It was okay the time before, and not sure what's happening over there, but I'm guessing it has to do with vaping, thinking loud exhaust pipes on a car is cool, and EDM concerts. I'm selling the rest of my gift cards on the black market.
Well, yeah, and we can read along and see the picture right there on the screen. So was that a Yelp review or a PF Chang's review?
Well, they didn't. I just posted it like here. And then I posted it in one of their threads because as soon as you go to these places, they slam you with ads. So here, you want it? Here you are. Here's what happened.
They should make up for how bad that dinner was, Johnny.
Well, I was going to put it in my Yelp reviews because I do have a Yelp page. If you find me on Yelp, I have a bunch of reviews. They're very funny, and I was going to add this one. Sometimes they will reach out then because they don't want that out there and they get all upset because people read them. But that's what happened. I wasn't making anything up. I'm not trying to bash them or anything. I mean, that's exactly what happened. And, I also had an ironed a shirt once in LA Guns. So those things happened. Don't get mad at me for telling you, pointing it out. I'm not he's negative, mean. You're not very kind.
Speaking of negative, Chris is back. He served his 5 minutes. He says, Jason's realizing how much food can complain next time he visits PF Chang. Any idea, Johnny? Chris, I'll give you a minute to explain yourself, and then you're going to have to go back on timeout.
He might have had a shunt put in.
Yeah. But all right, everybody's a comedian. I know that.
I hear from you.
I think they owe you a entree and maybe they should take care of you. You had a bad experience. Unfortunately, you probably wouldn't be able to get through on the phone.
I think I've had this person cancel Bubble. Do you see that person with the?
I've seen them before. Yeah, are they okay?
I think no. I think that person also commented on the initial post on my Facebook page.
Oh, well.
And it was kind of one of those, like, what do you expect from fast food kind of thing? Like, what, well, it's your fault. There you go, that you went there.
What about the jackass who keeps asking about all the bands that you've played in? Are you following this? Every comment he asks, this is like Metal Sludge behavior. Was Johnny in this band? Was Johnny in that band? All shit bands. It's like, I've disregarded it, but it keeps going and going.
Oh, and just for the record, Jason, if you were to read this, you should learn how to cook. What would you tell that person about my history with cooking?
That you carry bags of tomato sauce in your car for strangers to try.
I've cooked my entire life. I just kind of gave up because I'm cooking for one person. I'm tired of it. And if you do the money, if you can get something at least sort of healthy, what are you going to save? $5? You got to clean all that shit up. So I can cook. I just choose not to. So shut up.
Yes, absolutely. Cancel Bubble, it's not the person. They're not on Facebook.
All right. Well, it was someone else with the same attitude.
We are closing in here at 2 hours. I know it feels like it's only been 10 minutes or so, although I felt particularly terrible today. But I'm sure it'll be better. New tour diaries are coming very, very soon. I've been editing every night. I will tell you right now, the episode 9 and episode 10 are complete. They will go to my Patreons first. If you haven't signed up for Patreon, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go to the description, click on Patreon. You'll watch the interview before everyone else. I also have other exclusive content, dick pics, things like that nobody else has seen that will be there first. So you want to sign up for Patreon, and I appreciate that. And so anyway, new tour diaries, lots of them. New interviews will begin very soon as well. It's the new year. Everyone's just getting back into the swinger of things. But soon enough, we'll have them. I'm glad that people like the tour diaries. Yes, I'm glad you guys like them. If you sign up for Patreon, you'll be watching tonight. You'll watch the next one before anybody else. They come out on Mondays. So there's that. There's interviews. There's all kinds. There's so much content. Me and Michelle shot a bunch of videos of Funko soda stuff. There's all kinds of different content. People like to see different things. I don't have to just sit here and talk about the same fucking shit bands over and over again. There's plenty of stuff. Are you doing the cruise this time? I have, as of right now, I have no plans for cruises. Well, I can't say it. Maybe down the road. Okay. All right. So I'm just making sure that we got to everybody's things. Lots of stuff coming up. There are so many tour diaries. Like I say, you're going to see 9 and 10, but there's about 20 of these things, and they do start to get better. The tour diaries are better when I actually stop and talk about what we went through, and Johnny as well. But sometimes you have the footage you have, and there you go. So yeah, and then of course, please, I'm glad. Thank you, Jason. Reminding everyone to subscribe, like, share, comment. I don't like to bother people with that shit. That's for the guys who are starting out. When you're starting out and you've only got 20 or 30 subscribers, you got to remind people constantly. I did, but now you guys know the drill. Like this video, comment, all those things help. Subscribe. If you really want to help, go into the description, go to Whatnot, sign up, get $15 free, sign up for Patreon, all those things help out the channel. And Jeffrey agreeing with Johnny, it makes more sense.
But I understand what she's saying again. She's saying you got to prep for the week, and that's true. You do that, and I have done that in the past. It's just like, I can cook, but I'm not like I'm not the seasoning. And so it ends up kind of tasting bland. It's probably better for you because it's less salt. You can control what you put in it. But yeah, you just do the chicken for the week. You get all the Tupperware lined up. You get the rice or whatever you're going to do. I've done that for years. You line it all up. You get it all ready. But I bore myself after a while. And I'm not going to turn it into my daily quest of my entire life to put in hours and hours of finding recipes and getting it. So then you end up doing those meal preps, like that Foodie Fit thing I was talking about. I've tried those.
Yeah, I'm
So,
thinking about.
Hello Fresh or Fresh, I've done those, and those are pretty good too. But then you get bored, but you get bored going out and eating this crap too. You got to keep mixing it up. So it's eating good is tricky and it's expensive. And if
I
you
mean,
go get,
we went to the buffet at the Cosmo the other day, and you had the crab's legs, but you were having a very difficult time expelling the meat from the crab's legs.
my hands are still sore because
Yeah.
the ones they put out, they don't crack right. They kind of bend a little. Then by the time you do that and even if you crack it in the right spot and you pull on the joint and you pull and you're supposed to stick with it, it comes apart. So then you got a little bit of crab in each thing. Then you're trying to cut it and suck into there. And next thing you know, it's 3:00. You got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But we had a good time.
I eat fruits. That's all I eat are vegetables and fruits. That's all I had today was a smoothie. I make them every day. It's the same thing. I'm trying to keep it steady. I don't go out and just eat crappy stuff all the time. On the tour is when we usually do that because we don't have a lot of time or we don't have choices,
Well,
But
sometimes in smaller towns, things close early.
Yeah.
We don't know all the places, and so yeah, sometimes you end up eating, junk.
Yeah. So, but I try to eat as healthy as I can. But, like I said, it's expensive and you kind of got to know what you're doing or you'll just ruin what you're trying to make. I'm not a chef, but I can cook stuff. But, it's the same thing over and over again. Very basic stuff. A lot of chicken, a lot of, vegetables and rice. And I'll do a lot of like bell peppers and, whatever it is, very basic stuff. I'm not fancy with that. You can get good, but you got to put a lot of time into it. You got to really make it a thing. And I don't know that I have the patience for that.
Steve recommends you use your fork to get in there too.
I have done that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. No, I was using the butter knife to cut it. What I think I should do next time is I think they make gloves for this, don't they? If someone knows about these gloves, let me know. Send them over. Because if they have gloves for that, then I just bring a little pair of scissors. And I got the cracker there. That's racist. I have the opener. And then between those tools, maybe it'll go a little smoother. Because if you start cracking and you got a problem, you're immediately screwed. Then it hurts your hands and there's spikes sticking out and you can't open it. That's when you need the scissors. But I was using a butter knife. I just need the right tools.
When we had a lovely maitre d' or attendant, Francisco, I was suggesting that maybe you ask him to crack them for you. He was very hands-on, but
he'd probably be doing better than I would. I struggle with those, man. But it all pays off when you get it in the right crack and you pull it out and it's a big baby arm, and you just dunk it into that butter. And then you're just like, it's like, when the shark in Jaws bites into him, he talks about how the eyes roll back into its head. That's what happens when I eat a good crab leg. But that's
Johnny and Jason's cookbook for the stars.
It's just a lot of work. I'm sure it can be done. Don't get me wrong. It's just lots of work. Planning what to do for dinner.
There's a tool at Red Lobster they're saying that works very good. Maybe we should go there and steal the tool.
I think it's the same one they're talking about.
I think a cracker is a cracker is what we're saying.
Well, yeah. Well, they're a little less classy in Henderson. But you're talking about the Indiana crackers, right? But the ones... Yeah, you can crack them, but the problem is you're not getting like super high quality crab at these places, so they're not crisp. They kind of give a little, and then next thing you know, when it bends, the stuff inside is bending, and then it pulls apart. It's fine. We don't go there a lot, but I never get stuff like that in restaurants because where are you going to go? Red Lobster?
Well, the good thing is you can go get as many as you want. So if you strike out, you can get more. If they were serving it to us and there was a limit, you could be screwed.
That's right.
I should point out that next week's show, Johnny has been nice enough to cut my hair. So
yeah, we should do
I'm
that.
long due. Johnny, you might be due as well. Your hair's getting a little long. But
Jennifer Stolman's going to cut my hair.
That's right. Johnny has a stylist. She's appeared on the show. Jennifer Stolman.
That's right. She's hair cutter to the stars.
Yes. And so anyway, but Johnny Monaco is my hair cutter to the stars. And and so next week we're going to do that. A lot of fun things this year. I find that people like when Johnny and I go places. They love people still can't stop talking about Love It custard. I feel like they should give us some kind of a.
We should go back. Well, when it gets warm, we'll go. Spirit Medium Daniels says, how often do you play out, and do you do anything else to supplement your income? Well, I don't, but if you go to my .com and look under tour, you'll see everything I'm doing. So this month, right now,
That's not true, Johnny. You supplement your income with a lot of interesting things, Disney on Ice, things like that.
I do a little bit of outside work, but for the most part.
JohnnyMonaco.com, tour dates. You see, he does play a lot. His income is impressive because he works. Johnny Monaco is in demand.
Yeah, I think I have like maybe 15 shows this month.
Yes, the haircut will be live on the show. That is true.
So far, usually that adds up to maybe more. Sometimes I'll play 20 plus shows a month. Some days, some months in the summer, I'll play more than there's in the month. Like I've played like 36 shows in a month once.
That's pretty good. It's
it's good, but I mean, that's just, they come to me and I'll take them. Sometimes I turn them down.
Yeah, well, you're an international man of mystery. You don't have to take them all. Someone says you'll be playing at PF Chang's. I don't think they have live entertainment. They can't answer.
I would play there, but I would keep it all traditional.
What would you?
I play all the Chinese music, yeah.
Kung fu fighting, like that kind of stuff.
No, just the real traditional Chinese music, like you hear in the kung fu movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have to have a gong with you. Anyway, I thank everybody for watching. I'm hoping you all enjoyed this show. Johnny, what's with the Gemini view you're doing now? The half of your face, is that?
I was just giving a little bit of a different angle.
No, I
struggling with that.
Hold on. Steve would like to say that he bought a CD from Johnny and he sent a guitar pick with it. Thanks for the pick. It's excellent. So yeah. So guys, if you go buy a CD from Johnny, maybe he'll send you a little something too. Crab's leg, guitar pick, whatever. You never know what you're going to get. So visit his website and his social media too. Johnny's got all that shit that he needs to Facebook, Instagram, OnlyFans, JDate, Christian Mingle, Plenty of Fish. Johnny's on all of them. Just look him up. And all right, I think we've talked enough. I think we've said it all and more. We will see you guys again next week at the haircut. You're all excited to see it. Johnny is very talented. 200 people stayed with us the entire night. How great is that? I hope everyone has a great 2023. We have a whole year to talk about that. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you again.
Bye.